Hi, Naomi Suzanne from Naomi's Home Health, a natural health coach here, helping you improve your life by making some healthy choices. So, what are some of the tips that I can give you when you are starting your new healthy lifestyle journey? I made so many mistakes when I started mine. I put a lot of money into a lot of things that were not right for me. And that's the first thing you need to really dive into, is what's right for you. Just because other people are doing it doesn't mean that it is good for you or is right for you. You have a different health history, you have different DNA, you have different environmental factors, you live in a different lifestyle. So what works for some people may not work for you. It could actually be something that could be keeping you sick or prolonging your sickness. So the first thing that most people dive into is their nutrition. A lot of the time when we are unwell, we gain weight, because that's our body's way of saying there's something wrong. So we're gaining weight, and that's what we stress about the most. So we start going on diets. I can't stand that word diet. Nutrition is the word I use, but this is what people use. We've been conditioned to use the word diet, and we start obsessing over the weight gain, and we start removing foods and cutting foods and restricting ourselves. And this becomes a form of stress. So when you're obsessing over what you're eating and what you can and can't have, and oh my God, I'm gaining weight, so I'm going to cut out, I'm going to count calories, and I'm going to, cut out carbs, and I'm going to do all these things. It becomes this major stress on the body. Nobody wants to go out with you. You don't want to go out with anyone. You don't want to go out to eat anywhere because you can't eat anything. So it becomes a major stress. So one thing you need to do is relax into your nutrition. By all means, start to eat healthier. First thing you should do is cut out processed food. It's toxic, it's full of chemicals, it causes a lot of symptoms in our body like headaches, anxiety, gut health issues, behavioral issues in children. I work with kids for like 20 years, and if only some of the things that we did was clean up their nutrition, it would actually help a little. So things like that. Adding good foods, adding in foods first. If you're not big on eating fruits and vegetables, add them into your nutrition, your daily nutrition, and find out what certain foods do for you. Like cucumbers are hydrating and they're full of electrolytes. So adding those might be helpful to you. Find out what's full of iron. Find out what's things that you need in your body. Don't go straight to cutting everything out, because sometimes when we do all that, it becomes so overwhelming, we end up doing nothing. So adding foods to your diet, to your daily nutrition, that is what is more beneficial than actually going around and just starting to cut out everything. You can cut out things, like I don't eat gluten, things like that, but that was a process for me. I don't focus on what I don't eat, I focus on what I can eat. And I focus on how much fruits and vegetables I can eat throughout the day, and not eating processed food. That is what we don't have in this house. I mean, I've got teenagers. They go to school, they get given food and whatever. That's okay. But at least I know what I'm feeding them is nutritious and healthy. So, as I said, don't be obsessive about it, because it is a form of stress. But still be healthy. But just don't go in too deep, because you may quit, but it is a form of stress, and we are trying to reduce stress. So that is my third point, reducing stress. I know we can't always reduce stress in our lives. We might live with someone who causes stress. We might have family members who cause us stress. We might work in a job that causes stress. But there are things that we can do to manage our stress. We can remove certain people from our lives. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Or, staying away from them a little bit more. We don't have to be involved in everybody's lives. We don't have to be on Facebook finding out what's happening in other people's lives. Stay off social media if that's a problem for you. But reducing stress is super important, but learning how to manage it is also important. Sometimes the things that stress us out don't really need to stress us out. Like, my big thing was how tidy the house was and where things were in the house. And, I used to overdo that, and I was pretty OCD actually. So I had to learn not to worry about those things. The washing up will get done. If I was really unwell at night, I would get up and do the washing up, and it would and then I couldn't go to sleep. because I'd stress myself out about how the house looked before I went to bed. Because then in the morning I'd get up and be pissed off that the house was a mess. So I had to learn that it was okay to wake up in the morning and the house was a little bit of a mess or whatever. I had to learn that those things were not important. I was important. My health was important. And now I have teenagers to help me clean it up. So, you know, outsourcing's great. But when somebody offers you help to clean the house, which I had my mum offering me help, I would say, no, I'll do it. Say yes sometimes. Allow people to help you. So that's the other thing, is being so independent and saying no to everybody. I don't need help. I don't need your help. Sometimes we have to actually say yes. I'm struggling right now. I do need help. Please take the kids for me. Whatever it is that you need. And we don't have to say yes to everybody either. When people need us all the time. We don't need to people please and say yes to everybody. Sometimes you need to put yourself first, think of yourself first, and take that much needed rest. So then rest, we come up to rest. That is so important. It's not unproductive. Do not feel guilty for resting. Do not feel bad. It is extremely important. Don't have in your mind that if I don't rest this afternoon, I won't sleep tonight. Get that out of your head. If your body is tired in the afternoon, rest. You will get sleep, because if your body is not functioning properly, you will get sleep at night. If you're not sleeping at night, there are many factors that are causing that. It could be your health. It could be heavy metal toxicity, your stress levels, the atmosphere in your room, your breathing, so many factors. Sleep is one of the things that I am extremely good at helping people with. So if that is something that you cannot get into, or you're not sleeping, you're not falling asleep and you're not staying asleep, I'm the person that will help you with that. I also have an ebook on that. Then we have, check your exercise. I know when I got really sick, I was going to the gym 4 or 5 days a week, working out really hard, then going for runs. I was playing high-level tennis, touch football, hockey. I was doing a lot of exercise and my body was like, just stop. But I thought that that's what I had to do. 1, because I love it, but 2, keep weight off, be fit, remain fit, all of these things. And all it did was stress my adrenals, cause more weight gain, and get me deeper into an unhealthy state. So sometimes the exercise we're doing is wrong for our age, our body type, our condition, our health, whatever it is. Sometimes we are doing the wrong exercise for ourselves. So find somebody that can help you with your exercise according to your health. Because like I said, our adrenals, they are super important and they control a lot of the functions in our body. And when our adrenals are highly stressed, then it's going to cause a lot of other issues in our body. So if we don't work on the adrenals, we're going to keep putting on weight, not being able to sleep. Your adrenals help us sleep. You are not going to have any energy. So these are the things that we need to look at. Use your intuition. Really, really sit with some of the things that, things come up on Facebook or Instagram. You're like, oh, that could help me. And you end up doing things that aren't going to help you and that are not beneficial to your health. So really start to feel into some of these things and start listening to your body. Intuition, like if your body is saying, no, I don't like that, or I can't have that, listen to that, because that is what is going to help you. You know your body, and your body knows you better than anybody else. No doctor knows your body better than you. Nobody. You know your body the best. So you need to start listening to that. I've already spoken about stop talking about diet and weight loss. Weight loss is not important. Not important at all. It will come when you're feeling unwell and you're starting to gain weight. That is just a symptom of what's going on in your body. When you start to get to the root cause of what is going on in your body, then you will start to lose the weight. But going on fad diets and doing all these things, you need to find out why you're gaining weight. Because a lot of the time we do these things, like it could be a hormonal issue, thyroid issue, adrenal. It's not always what you're putting in your mouth. It's not always, you're not restricting yourself enough or anything like that. Sometimes it's a bit of everything, but don't be too hard on yourself. And start to love yourself. So another thing about healing is loving yourself where you're at, and go easy on yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself. Stop worrying about what other people think. Most people don't think about you what you think about yourself. Like when you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, I look shit today. I feel like shit, or I'm so fat here. I need to, most people don't look at you and go, oh my God, look at her today. Or, oh my God, how come she doesn't lose that little bit of fat here? Or you are harder on yourself than anybody else. And most people love you for who you are. And if they don't, they're not your people. So start to work on loving yourself and coming back to your heart and loving where you're at. When you start to work on yourself emotionally, physically, mentally, you will start to see different changes. You will start to see vibrancy. You will start to see the person that you are on the inside. And that is what is more important. This is just a shell. The rest of what is in here is important. So diving into self-love, particularly if you're a woman, because we are even harder on ourselves than blokes. I know there are guys who have low self-esteem and everything like that, but we are super hard on ourselves, and it's time that we stop that. So start diving into some self-love activities. Build a good community. Find your people. Find people who are interested in the same things you are. Like I have a lot of friends who are into natural health, or a lot of them have become, they have got into natural health since I have, or, we go and meet up and talk about different things and health. And I hang with people who eat really well or love food as much as I do, but they love healthy food. People who, I go for walks with friends, we catch up. Instead of going for a wine, we go for a walk around the harbour, along the beach. I put myself in those situations with people who are positive, who are grateful, who check in on me and see how I am, and who are my cheer squad, who thinks it's great that I've healed my body, or love the business that I'm doing, or they support my business, or they're telling people that are unwell, hey, go and see my friend Naomi. She knows a lot about health and she can help you. Those are the people I surround myself with. The people who lift me up, not pull me down. Also, a community of people who want to get better. They might not be into those things, but they want to get better. That is really, really important. Building yourself a community of people who like the same things, are doing the same things, and are not engaging in toxic activities. There's nothing wrong with drinking, having a wine or whatever I'm saying, but it's not something I make a habit of. I don't do it all the time. So I don't want to hang out with people who just want to go and drink. I hang out with people who are there, who want to have, healthy food or exercise or whatever it is, and who support my choices. Focus on your breath, on your breathing. Breathing properly is different to breath work. When you drop it in the comments if any of this is making sense to you. If you are like resonating with any of this, if you've done a lot of this, or if you're starting to think, I've fallen into those traps too, Naomi. I was the ones that, did all the wrong things. Drop it in the comments. I'm really interested to know where you're at in your health journey and if I'm helping you in any way, shape or form. Anyway, back to the breath. The breath is, it controls everything in our body. It affects our organs. It affects our skin. It affects the growth of our cells. It affects our liver, our detoxification pathway. And if you're not doing it properly, then those things are going to be severely affected. Breath work is different to conscious breathing. I focus on conscious breathing because most of us aren't breathing properly anyway. So if you go and do breath work, which is great, I'm not knocking breath work. I do breath work myself. But the first thing I focused on was how I breathe. And if you are breathing through your mouth, that is a stress response. Most people don't realize they breathe through the mouth. But when you panic, you see people breathing through the mouth. That is a stress response. If you're a mouth breather, it has come from a stressful situation. You should be breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. That is how you get the most oxygen in your body. Then in the nose, you've got little hairs that filter the air that goes in. So the dust and bacteria and all those viruses, that filters the air. It also warms the air. So if you've got cool air coming into your body, it's going to warm it up. So it also helps actually get it all down into your respiratory system. When you breathe through your mouth, you breathe really shallow. You breathe sort of up here. But when you breathe in through the nose, it goes all the way down into your stomach. Your shoulders shouldn't really move when you're breathing. It should be your stomach. You should see your ribs and your stomach expanding. That is where you need to be at. And I focus on that a lot with my clients, because the majority of them go, I don't even know I'm doing that. And you don't, because you don't look at how you breathe, because you're just doing it all day, every day anyway. It's a natural response in your body. So if you are actually, or you sit like this, you've got to learn to close your mouth. Start checking in on your breath. Breath work is great once you start to learn to breathe properly. I would never tell anyone to go do breath work if they haven't checked in and started to create a new habit of breathing through the nose. Breath work, I have had people have very, very bad experiences with, because they go to these big group breath work programs or days or functions or retreats or whatever it is. And what that does, when you haven't done breathing or any form of breath work before, when you dive deep into the breath and you go into a kind of meditative state, and you can start to visualize things that have happened in your life. And I have heard of people who have been extremely petrified. You can tense up because you're not getting the right amount of oxygen into your body, and it can take you back to places that you didn't want to go to. There were someone told me about when they were in a retreat over in Thailand somewhere, and someone did breath work over there, and they went back to a time in their life that was severely traumatic for them when they were a child, and they came out of it like they needed to go and see a psychologist. They had to end up getting on a plane and going home because they'd never done this before. It was something that they got into without sort of realizing what they were getting into, and the people who ran the retreat didn't have the tools or expertise to help them beyond that. So, and I have had other people who have called me, gone, I went to do this breathwork thing at such and such place the other day, and it took me back to something, and it scared the shit out of me, and it has freaked them out into doing any other form of breath work. So you have to be very careful of some of the things. Not everybody, when they are teaching you something, not everybody knows where it can take them, or where they can take people, or when they do get people to a certain spot, then they don't know how to get them out of that. So that comes to my point of be careful with fads. Things like breath work, learn it from the start. Don't jump to the end where you're going to this, breathwork class like I just explained. Start from the start and ease into it. Fads like the ice bath, they are great for a lot of people, but if you have adrenal issues, it can be quite can have a negative effect on your body, because when you get into an ice bath, you're plunging your body into a rapid decline in your body temperature, and what happens is your adrenaline then goes up to get your body functioning better, get your heat up, and that's why you get that euphoric sense when you get into the ice bath, because you get a hit of an adrenaline. But if you've got adrenal issues and your body's already pumping out excess adrenaline, you've lived in fight or flight for a very long time, then you are going to pump out way too much adrenaline. It could affect the heart, it could affect your body temperature, it could affect your adrenals still, your sleep. So if you have stressed adrenals, and not a lot of us know when we do have that, then an ice bath could be something that could really cause issues with you down the track, because you're just pumping out all this adrenaline. So some of the things, learn about your body before you dive into doing them, because a lot of the people who run these things don't actually warn you about that. They're not trained sometimes. They just think, this works for me and I love it, so I'm going to get other people into it. And like I said before, what works for you may not work for somebody else. Oh, okay, I might. Okay, Jason wants to be in this live video. Okay, we'll see. We'll see where he's at. Nope. Anyway, sorry, I can't get it to activate. But that is sometimes, you know, these fads like apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is grown on decaying food and it's extremely dehydrating. Fermented food, all the natural living water from the food that is fermented is dehydrated basically out of the food. So we're adding a lot of salt, sometimes sugar, and it's growing on decaying food. Yes, there's bacteria in it. Don't know if it's beneficial to the gut, but I do know that it dehydrates the liver. So sometimes fads, because it might have a good element to it, it's not focusing on the element that may not be good. So sometimes I know when I started doing the fermented foods, I was eating them thinking this can't be good. Like my intuition was saying don't. And then my gut health wasn't too bad. I didn't feel things when I ate different foods. And after about a year, I started getting bloating and I wasn't feeling great. And I don't know if it was the fermented food, but I cut it out and I didn't have those issues anymore. But I know I added other things too. So it could have been a bit of everything, but I don't have any of that anymore. And I don't have vinegar because I know it dehydrates the liver. I know it dehydrates you at a cellular level because of how it's produced. And like I said, I eat things with actual living water in it. So foods that have a raw, I don't eat just a raw plant-based diet, but I do eat a lot of raw food and a lot of fruit because it has living water, the actual vitamins and minerals and enzymes and phytochemicals that are still active in them because it's in its actual state. It hasn't been dehydrated and all that living water has gone from it. So it hydrates me at a cellular level. We've spoken about everything pretty much that I can think of. I have a list here. I'm just trying to remind me of what it was that can help you get started. I hope some of those points have made sense to you. I'll see if I can, are you still on? Can I still add you to this? May go live. No, it's not doing it. Sorry. So let me know if any of these points have made sense to you. Drop it in the comments. Give me a like and a share if you want to help somebody else with this. But if you are unsure of where to go on your healing journey or how to get started, or if you have started and you feel like you're not progressing, or you might be doing a few things that I've mentioned on the list that may not be as good for you, drop it in the comments so I can help you and book a consultation with me. I do 1 hour consultations so we get deep into your past and present health, and then we're going to go into your future health. But I don't do it at an extreme level. Like I'm not going to go, right, get rid of everything, stop doing all of this. It's going to be done so you're not stressed. It's going to be a relaxed state, and we're going to understand that this is a journey. So journey means, you know, it's going to take time. It's not like in 3 months you're going to be better. This is a practice. This is how we create new habits. We're improving our lifestyle every day, and it's something that you do forever. You're not going on a diet for 6 weeks and thinking that you're going to drop weight and then you'll be good. You'll be that size forever. This is you learning to create new habits to keep this lifestyle going. So, hang on, accept. Oh, no. Won't let me. So, I'd love to work with you if you are lost, if you have any autoimmune disease, thyroid issues, skin conditions, sleep issues, breathing issues. These are my areas of expertise. Just helping people get healthier is something that I'm really, really good at. I'm very intuitive, and my medical intuition, like I can tell you I can help you understand what's going on in your body, because I really understand health at a natural level. And this is where we go from, doing the things that caused you to get sick to doing the things that are going to benefit you and reduce all those symptoms. It's my area of expertise. So if you're on Instagram, link is in my profile, but if you're on Facebook, I will add the link to there for you.